Okay, what's going on? Vincent Rapsardi, Big Blue Unbiased.com. Thank you to those who have liked, commented, and subscribed. I appreciate you guys. If you guys can subscribe, if you guys can give this a like, and if you can comment, I would appreciate that. Again, I guess. All right, so let's talk about some things. Not too much going on today, but there is some injury news. I do want to talk about that. I want to talk about some Jason Garrett comments. I want to talk about Kadarius Toney. I want to talk about John Ross. Okay, so let's start with some injury news first. It doesn't look like Darius Slayton or Sterling Shepard are going to play this week versus New Orleans. Hamstring injuries for both of them. It looks like it's trending in that direction where they're not going to play. They did not practice today. That is not good news for the Giants. Not good news. Sterling Shepard has a catch percentage of almost 82% this year. Easily been their best receiver. Definitely Daniel Jones' favorite receiver so far since Jones has been quarterback of the Giants. He likes to throw to Sterling Shepard, and Shepard's a quality receiver. The issue has always been his health. He is always hurt. And that's kind of why you drafted Kadarius Toney, which we'll get into. So Darius Slayton also did not practice. So those are some rough offensive news for the Giants right there. Matt Skura looks like he'll be starting at guard, most likely, according to Dan Duggan, judging by what Daniel Jones said, some comments. Skura, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, is a former Duke guy. So a little Jones-Skura-Duke connection right there. Giants have been hit pretty hard on the offensive line with injuries and retirements back in training camp. They're trying to piece this thing together, unfortunately. That's what they're doing at this point due to injuries and retirements. So that is that. Isaiah Wilson practiced with the Giants today. He's a big boy. He's a big guy. We'll see when he's really ready to go. I'm sure it's going to take some time for him to get into the football groove. We'll see what happens with that. Okay, so Jason Garrett made comments today, and I'll read them right here. He was asked about whether needing to start scoring points immediately in order to stay play caller of the New York Football Giants. And he said, I don't really think about that. We just have to get better. This is just a stupid comment. Look, last year if he said this, I would have said, yes, I agree. You just need to get better. Jones needs to steadily improve. The offensive line needs to steadily improve. The receivers, everyone on the offense needs to just continue to try and go in the right direction. Nobody cares anymore about the steady improvement of this or of that. You got to start winning. At some point, and Joe Judge made similar comments like this within this week. He made similar comments like, yeah, we're just trying to get better. I'm paraphrasing. I'm just saying. I remember seeing similar comments and being like, what are you saying at this point? You know what it is? It's a loser's mentality. At this point, it's a loser's mentality. When you're rebuilding and you're young, you have to be realistic, and you understand we have young players, and they're going to have their bumps in the road, and you just want to see them improve over the course of the year, get them better. It may not be about scoring 30 a game, but it may be about, look who played well. Look at this receiver. Look at the quarterback doing this, the left tackle doing that. Those things, okay? Steady improvement. At this point, nobody cares. You just look like a bunch of losers. I'm just being honest. You got to start winning. Yes, it's about points. Go and score some points. Enough of this crap. It's only for so long can you continue to hear this and be like, yeah, just keep improving a little bit. Just get a little bit better. Each week, just try and improve. Now, bottom line business right now, you got to start scoring points and winning some games. Enough of this crap. I mean, these are just tired comments. And I'm not going to try and get crazy over it. I'm just saying. They're just tired comments. At some point, you have to produce. It can't just be about, well, we're looking to improve every week. Save it. All right, so that's that. John Ross looks like he's back. I don't know if he's definitely going to play this week, but he's back at practice, and he's doing his thing. I think the Giants have a lot of talent. Even with Shepard and Slayton not playing, I still think the Giants have a really nice group on offense when it comes to their weapons. I worry about how they're being used and if they're going to be used correctly. I was talking to myself yesterday, and I was saying, if I were offensive coordinator, I'd probably give 4 or 5 screen passes to Barkley every single game. I would make it a requirement no matter what the score was. Just to get him the ball, some open space, and see what he does, because he's that talented. I'd probably do the same thing with Kadarius Toney. Maybe not 5, but maybe 2 or 3. Like a requirement. Like every week we have to give 4 or 5 screen passes to Saquon Barkley, give him some room to run, and see what he does. Maybe two or three of those turn into a first down. Maybe on first down you run a screen and he runs for a first down or whatever. On second down he runs for a first down, whatever it is. Maybe the other two, they don't go anywhere. But still, I want to give him the ball as often as possible, especially in space, because he's very talented, and that is why you took him second overall. I made the same argument when Eli was quarterback. I know people are not going to like this because everyone loves Eli. I get it. I'm not hating on Eli. I'm saying at the end of his career, he wasn't the same player. He was old. But also his decision-making was way different than it was when he was in his prime. And I used to make the argument, look, you have Odell, you have Shepard, you had Barkley, you have Ingram, you have all these good players. You have to... There's no point in it, you got to use them, right? You got to use it. You got to use the players that you have, and you have really talented players. Play to that advantage that you have. Play to it. I remember using some example regarding a birthday cake or something like that. It's like I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. All I'm saying is this, okay? You have one of the most talented ball carriers in the NFL. Not just running backs, but in general. Just one of the most talented ball carriers in the NFL in Saquon Barkley. Give him the football in space as often as you can and see what he can do. It's better than what you're doing right now. And the same thing is with Kadarius Toney. Learn how to utilize him. Give him the ball in open space. This week, the bare minimum, he needs to be targeted 5 times. I don't care what those targets are. Give him the football at least 5 times and see what he can do. I guarantee 1 or 2 of those plays, he's going to make a guy miss. He's going to put together a solid gain or a nice play for your offense. So this opens up the door for Kadarius Toney. The 2 injuries, Shepard and Slayton, unfortunately. For those guys, definitely a loss for the Giants. But now this urges the Giants and Jason Garrett and Daniel Jones to give Kadarius Toney the football more, get him more active. Not for nothing, but I'm assuming they also took him in the first round, knowing that they've dealt with a decent amount of injuries to their playmakers over the past few years. Sterling Shepard has been injury prone. I think we all knew that he was not going to play all 17 games this year. I think we all understand that. He's gotten banged up a lot over the course of his career. He's not a guy you expect to play 17 games. No way. Slayton, he's a deep ball guy, hamstring injury now. I'm not surprised. Barkley obviously missed almost the entire season last year. He missed a decent chunk, which he rushed himself back a little bit back in 2019. He's had his injuries. Those are 2 really important, Shepard specifically, Barkley specifically, 2 very important playmakers on your offense who have dealt with injuries, and Kenny Golladay. He's had some injury issues in the past. That was kind of maybe the one, that's probably the top concern when the Giants signed him was, is he going to stay healthy? So you have your top playmakers that have been known to be banged up for a decent amount of time over the course of their career. I'm not going to say completely injury prone, but close to it. I guarantee that had something to do with the draft pick of Kadarius Toney. Well, now is your shot. Go ahead and use him. And use him correctly, give him the football, and see what he can do. Okay, I think everybody is just tired of seeing him get 2 targets a game. It absolutely makes no sense. And clearly, it doesn't make sense because look at what their offense is doing. Their offense is not doing much. So you might as well get them the football. So that is really that. I wanted to go over the Jason Garrett comments because at the end of the day, you got to start scoring points. We can say, this and all that, and the progress and this and that. It really is a bottom line business. I mean, it's not just about if they like you or progress. You got to produce. Daniel Jones, look at the timeline of Daniel Jones so far during his Giants career. He was drafted. Almost every Giants fan did not like the pick. Then his rookie year, a lot of people like Daniel Jones. A lot of people are like, wow, this guy's a franchise quarterback. You look at last year, I think a lot of people were like, either gave up or were on him. Maybe even after the first game, people were like, not a big fan. And now, there are a lot of people, if you go on social media, that are like, Daniel Jones is a franchise quarterback. That's what I'm seeing a lot on social media. And right now, Daniel Jones is somewhere in the top 10 in QBR and EPA. He's doing fairly well, and he's a really good running quarterback. He adds that dual threat that is very tough to find at the level that he plays at as a running quarterback, and the upside that he also brings as a passer, obviously. There's a ton of different dual threat kind of quarterbacks, but I don't know if there really are too many that are as talented as he is. He has incredible potential to run the football. He almost ran for 100 yards against Washington. Got to design more plays like that, more RPO or read option kind of plays. That's what you should be doing. Play to the strength of your quarterback. He's a talented guy, one of the best deep ball throwers in the NFL, and one of the best mobile quarterbacks in the NFL. So, what my point was that it's all about production. When Daniel Jones was doing well, he was loved or liked, or people were happy with him. When he wasn't, people weren't happy. That's why I love sports, because it really is a meritocracy 99% of the time. If you're good, people will appreciate and like you as a player. If you're not, even if you were the second overall pick, the first overall pick, even if they loved you on day one, it doesn't matter. If you're not producing anymore, they're going to say, get rid of this guy. He stinks. So that's it. That's all I got.